Good morning. As promised, I'm doing a coffee review in lieu of Tea and Pajamas, and we are going to review Coffin Creek Death by Chocolate Bavarian Chocolate. And I decided to look on their website. Coffin Creek is not brewed by Bleak Boutique, they are sold by Bleak Boutique. A brief synopsis of what I've found online. So, Coffin Creek started out as Deadly Grounds Coffee Canada because the founder of Coffin Creek had met up and collaborated essentially with Deadly Grounds Coffee. And eventually they decided to change their name to Coffin Creek. They also have a cafe, and of course, as I said, they are based out of Canada. My shirt for today, I've got the antisocial goth gang out of the um, can be used as goth, whimsigoth, goth on a extreme budget from Temu. Yes, it's fast fashion and it's not as cute. Well, it is cute. It's not as high quality as the things I've had on that I've bought from Vampire Freaks, and those were blind bags. So I didn't know what I was going to be getting. And again, as I've said before, with those, I will try to start doing blind bags in the men's shirts for now until I can get my weight under control. Yes, being home, I seem to have possibly lost some weight, but my body is a rebellious beast. It swells. Like I said, it expands and contracts depending on what I've eaten that my body doesn't like. And I can't afford to really nail that down and have a diet that's friendly to all my issues that are diagnosed and undiagnosed, but my body tells me that they're there. So there you have it. Anyway, enough about me and me with my shirts. We're going to go into this. Again, this is a whole bean coffee. It's flavored, chocolate flavored. It doesn't say if it's natural or artificial. It tastes good for what it is. I can't tell really. If you can't tell, they did a good job if it's artificial. Um, it's a 340-gram bag. I'm not good at converting to US from metric, so if you're good at that, you can figure out how much this is. And it's a roast level of 3. And again, did I say, yeah, bean origin of Brazil? And I'm saving these. These are going to go in my kitchen along with the whiskey werewolf. Oh yes, my mug. I like my Coffin black. So this mug has been well loved, as you can see, and coffee stained, but that's okay. It fits the mood, the vibe of the cup. So if it ages, that'll make it look even better. It won't look as new and pristine. It'll look like somebody dug it up. Straight up, yes, I can smell the chocolate. It smells like a chocolate liqueur, but I'm not sure. Again, it doesn't say whether it's natural or artificial. But on the nose, it's a nice dark chocolate. It says Bavarian chocolate. Again, I don't know enough about chocolate to explain what a Bavarian chocolate is. But it does. It smells like a nice dark chocolate bar. You get the roasty notes of the coffee. So of 3, I believe that would be medium, right? Medium roast, because it would be like what, light, medium, dark, and espresso, I believe. So it's a medium. I'm tasting the coffee more than the chocolate. Of course, that's on me because breakfast was a reheated burrito and reheated Velveeta mac and cheese with barbecue sauce and tomato soup in it to reconstitute it from last night so it wouldn't be weird tasting. I don't have a microwave. I haven't had one since I've lived out here. And in this space and my other space, my previous abode across town, no space for a microwave. Uh, I could probably order once I get my financial situation resituated and reorganized, and determine what I can spend on what, maybe I will get a cheap microwave cart and then be able to pull it up around here somewhere and plug the microwave in when I'm using it. Oh, by the way, not sponsored, but Guy Fieri's brown sugar bourbon barbecue sauce is pretty good in Velveeta mac and cheese, Velveeta shells and cheese. It cuts the taste of the Velveeta, gives it a nice sweet smoky flavor. It would be good in beans as well. In fact, I have a big can of beans in two big cans of beans in my pantry that I bought this last time when I went shopping because I was trying to go cheap and stock up until I could get the situation well in hand. Which, like I said, I'm on the way to getting that back in hand. Um, there's like just a little more paperwork I have to work on, and then we'll be at that lovely stage of semi-retirement, which means I can pick up a part-time job if I wish, if I need to, but I may or may not need to do that. So trying to get all those. I usually have squirrels at a rave or cats at a rave that are high on catnip, but somehow I'm managing to find ducks. And they're almost in a row, but there's a couple that are wandering around somewhere, so I have to get them back in line. Anyway, back to the coffee. And yes, like I said, I'm not sponsored by anybody, but that barbecue sauce is good. It makes a lot of things taste better. Yes, it's a basically this is a single note. Well, double note because you've got the coffee and the chocolate. It tastes like a dark chocolate bar. You know those chocolate bars that you can get every once in a while that have coffee beans in them or chocolate covered coffee beans? That's what it reminds me of, like either like a chocolate coffee flavored candy bar or chocolate covered coffee beans. So basically, chocolate covered coffee is what I'm saying. It tastes like someone took coffee and dipped it in chocolate. If I had a little bit more milk in the fridge, I could add some milk to it. That would be really nice. Um, what I did with the chocolate raspberry truffle coffee to amp that up a little bit, one day I put some red chili in the reusable filter, mix that with the raspberry and the chocolate, and that was really nice. And if you don't have Mexican chocolate coffee, you can take a chocolate coffee and add a bit of chili powder. Not the chili powder with the garlic in it, but powdered chili, I should say. Powdered chili, red or green, and a little bit of cinnamon. Close enough until you can get Mexican chocolate flavored coffee. And I've had that on the channel. I've reviewed a few, and most of them are fairly good. How do I like this? I like it a lot. I do like it. Would I get this instead of Gothrider? Probably, because this is a smaller company, at least to me anyway. It's I was wrong. I thought it was based out of Oshkosh. I'm correcting myself from the haul video, which will go up before this. So correction, and I will also make a correction to that as well in the comments and the description. Coffin Creek is not made by Bleak Boutique. It is sold by Bleak Boutique. You can buy it in their shop and on their website. But if you want to go straight to the source, as I found poking around, you can go straight to the company, Coffin Creek Coffee Company in Canada, and order from there. I was wondering, that's why it took so long. I was wondering, Bleak Boutique is in Oshkosh. Why is it taking like a week or so to get the coffee, which is in Oshkosh? And then I found out why. It's coming from Canada. And the price is actually quite good considering. I'm pleasantly surprised. For the two bags of coffee plus shipping, it was around 62 bucks in round numbers, which is still kind of expensive. So basically, about $20 for shipping, which makes sense because when I got that pin from One Arm Bob, which I no longer have, due to circumstances beyond my control, and partly, well, not due the reason I lost the pin was due to circumstances beyond my control, but the fact that the pin got left behind was due to circumstances within my control. Had I been not so stressed out as to be in basically blind panic and not realizing I had left it behind. I will buy a new one at some point from One Arm Bob, and I will not wear it to work. And also, I'm not going to order anything else for right now, or too much for, well, not anything else. I'm not going to order too much right now, considering the weather we're still having. Spring decided it wanted to hide a while, hold off a while longer. Mother Nature said, like I said, look, hold my beer. And she proceeded to drink a whole case. She drank a whole 12 pack. And like, and is looking around like, hit me again, bartender. And hopefully they're like, no, you're already drunk, woman. We don't need any more winter. Sit down. But alas, I did order 2 bottles of mead from a company called B and Brew, based out of Texas, from what I can tell. And they have mead and coffee. Not trying to sound like the Skeksis from Dark Crystal, but my bad impersonation of a Skeksis. um, that might be worth looking into. And also, there is a witch's brew tea I'm thinking about getting to again change things up. I have like a long list of brands I've shopped from and off and on repeatedly, and I've added new ones to the list, and I'm just in the mood to shake things up a bit, I guess. So I'm trying some new ones. So we might just do Coffin Creek for now through Bleak Boutique, and maybe directly. Well, I'll go through Bleak Boutique. That way, I'm helping a small business and an independent roaster at the same time. So we'll do it that way. I will order any coffee and tea. Oh, she has tea as well, which is probably another small business. So basically, if you can order through Bleak Boutique, you'll be helping two businesses, Coffin Creek Coffee and Bleak Boutique. Multitasking, basically. And like I said, she sells tea as well. I will check that out. And again, I will order through her company, just like I order Bloodthirsties. I think I don't know, there's one that goes through Vamp Fangs and there's one that goes through somebody else. Boutique de Vampire. They sort of blend together. You got Boutique de Vampire, Bloodthirsties, and some of them go through. Well, Boutique de Vampire is and again a boutique that sells other people's brands, and that's where I found Bloodthirsties originally, and then he started selling his tea independent of that. And anyway, there are so many that I order from, but basically, stop rambling. If you can order a tea or a coffee, order a tea or coffee through a small business, and they're an independent company, do it that way. Order through the small business where you found them, and that way you're benefiting yourself because you're getting a product you wouldn't have gotten normally, and you will be helping two businesses. We'll just leave it at that. Back to the coffee. Oh yes, this mug I got at my ex-employer. They used to have nice Halloween stuff, but they've gotten kind of low quality over the years. But I keep this mug because I like it. And the older it gets, it's getting a patina on it. It's tea and coffee stain, and I tried to scrub it, but because of the fact that it's kind of a chalky matte finish, it soaks up stains. But again, I'm not going to worry about it. It adds to the character. And you won't be able to find this mug probably anywhere else unless you look online. There might be. Nope. It just has the washing instructions. I tried. Ugh. I'm scatterbrained right now. Well, and those of you who've been with me for a while, you're thinking, right now? Aren't you always scatterbrained? Yes. Actually, yes, I am. And I just. I derailed my own train of thought for a second. Man, I wish I could meet Queenie Black. The two of us would probably go off the rails. Although I don't have the depth of goth experience that she has. I got into the game at roughly officially into it at about 42. And she's 47, so I may or may not predate goth. So, I'm going to let you guys go. You guys might just leave. Go. She's always been crazy, but she's really slipped off. Really slipped. Okay. Back to this. Rein myself in. Coffin Creek Coffee Company, Death by Chocolate. You can order direct from the website. But again, if you want to help a small business as well as a coffee roaster, go through Bleak Boutique. You will find both of them on Facebook, however. And I found out that these guys are also on YouTube. So they are on YouTube and Facebook and a couple of other places. And Bleak Boutique is on Facebook. So you've got two options there to order the coffee directly from the company or through Bleak Boutique, which is how I found them. And if you're ever in Canada, go to the Coffin Creek Cafe. They have a horror themed cafe. I found that out by poking around on the internet. So give that a look as well. So if you're ever in Canada, go to Coffin Creek Coffee Company and check out their cafe. If you're in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, go to Bleak Boutique and check out in person what they have there as well. Again, I'm not sponsored, but I will try to help small businesses any way I can. I say as I'm wearing a fast fashion t-shirt and drinking from a mass-produced coffee mug, but a little bit of everything. Okay, I've got to hang up my phone. There we go. All right, if you like this nonsense, please give this a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe, hit the bell once. If you want notifications as to what this ridiculous old bat is going to do next, hit the bell a second time. Feel free to comment down below, but as always, please keep it civil. And again, we are not a dating site. There are goth dating sites out there, and this is not one of them. You're probably going to find a lot of antisocial introverts here, as well as beer aficionados and whatnot. I have a very eclectic channel, as I've explained before. I started out as Goth on a Budget, added snacks, and went from Halloween-themed beer to basically Halloween-themed beer all year round, essentially. Beers that have a spooky theme or a Halloween theme, and of course pumpkin, always pumpkin. And also, yes, wine and hard liquor as well. If I see it and it looks weird or interesting, I can afford it, I buy it and share it with you. Same with the snacks, same with anything else. I buy what I like and I share it with you to give you ideas as to what you might be able to get on your budget to make your gothy, geeky gothy, whimsy gothy, possible rustic gothy. I didn't mean to say rusty. Well, maybe we could create something. Yeah, something that'll fit your budget. So, there we have it. And since, like I said, Mother Nature is drunk and she's downing at least one 12-pack, probably more at this point, and getting drunk off her face, and it's snowing in spring. Please be careful. And I'm hoping that you've listened and winterized your hearse by now, so you can drive safely or drac safely. But also drac responsibly. Give the designated Dracula a chance to imbibe if they wish. But if the roads are bad where you're at, stay yourselves home. Have a party at somebody's crypt, coffin, cave, mausoleum, haunted house, whatever. And be cozy in front of a fireplace or whatever heat source you have, and relax and enjoy until spring actually decides to show up. And also, please take care of each other. Look out for the, like I said, the cryptids, the shapeshifters, the wendigos, the changelings, and all the other assorted cryptids and monsters, especially the ones that are changing form, because some of them are stuck mid transformation, beginning of their transformation, and would like to complete the process and become their true selves. It's rather disastrous, as anyone knows, if you stop a butterfly or a moth before they're finished. So, and once and as I've said before, if they don't have a family or friends to look out for them, please be their family, be their friend. Check up on your strong friends as well. I don't say that enough, and I haven't said it lately, but check on them as well. Sometimes the ones that act tough are pretending to be tough. So check on them as well. Basically, check on each other, look out for each other. Again, and I don't say it enough, make sure each other knows you're loved, respected, and protected. And of course, we also need to look out for the bunnies and the baby bunnies and their families as well. Any way you can, whether quietly or making mischief in a good way. So I'm going to let you go. I love all of you. And of course, the vampires, please. You, I've been including you since the beginning of this channel, pretty much. Toward the beginning. Remember your large parasols and your 100 SPF plus, so you don't turn into ash. We need your goofiness, and in some cases, your sophistication, because some of us are rather rough around the edges and kind of feral. I love all of you. See you in the next video. Bye now.